So I wanted to talk about this one idea, but then I had to make space on my phone. And then I've been doing this secular prayer thing recently where I really like the results because it's making me have less suffering, and it's making me have something that I can actually exercise as a tool to it feels like to protect me from the darkness that's inside of people. That's how it feels like to me. I feel nervous to talk about it because I'm scared that the forces of disharmony would now, like, if I talk about it, we'll be like, now we're going to attack that, make sure it doesn't work for her. So I want to note that because that's something that's happening in my inner world right now. I want to talk about the hemispheres of the world. I want to talk about how that sounds like I'm talking about the brain of a human being. There's a suggestion that it's like your brain, yes, the hemispheres of the world. These are the hemispheres, the brain hemispheres that could make the world go in a better direction for harmony. We can't have that. We have to attack our hemispheres. That's a thought bubble, I guess you could say, that I registered in my inner world, in my inner mind, in my inner awareness of thought or mind activity. Because what are thoughts? Thoughts are mind activity. Hearing all these Catholic priest exorcists talking about demons has made me be like, they mention how demons have minds and wills. They have intellect and will. And I was like, maybe I should be Catholic because these Catholic priests are constantly talking about demons. And in the Orthodox Christian Church, they don't really want to talk about demons like modern day priests. I would read the saints, like the different Orthodox Christian saints. By the way, the Orthodox Christian Church is considered the original church. So here's a brief timeline so that you understand what's happening with all the Christian churches. It's there's a church that's established originally around the idea of Jesus Christ and his teachings, and that's called the original Christian church. And the Orthodox Christian Church is meant to be that's what that is. The Orthodox Christian Church is the first church of Christ, that was right after he appeared. The church that became the Church of Christ was now it's called the Orthodox Christian Church, because Orthodox means the original, therefore it's the most traditional, because there was no variation. It's the root. And then there was a split, and then there became the Catholic Church and the Orthodox Church. And so now there's a Catholic Church and then an Orthodox Church. And Catholic actually means universal. That word Catholic means universal, as in the universal Christ Church. But actually, it's the Orthodox Church that's the root, church. There was no other, option. It was just one Christian church, and that's called now Orthodoxy. And so then the Catholicism is the Protestants to the Catholics. How the Protestants with Martin Luther, the German, who went up to a Catholic church and put up his objections to how the Catholic Church became this money-based, completely went away from the teachings of Christ institution, And so then Protestantism was born because it was a protest against the Catholic Church's what's the word? Corruption. Okay? And how it wasn't at all about God or what Jesus taught about. So the Catholic Church to the Orthodox Church is like seen as like the Protestants are seen by the Catholics. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So there's the Orthodox Church, Catholicism branches off. Now there's two of them, right? But then and then over here's the Catholic Church, here's the Orthodox Church. Then from the Catholic Church, the Protestant churches are born, but the Orthodox Church continues down here. And then, so like Orthodox Church, Catholic Church, now there's two branches. Now the Catholic Church has like the Protestant thing because they're like, we're disgusted with you Catholic Church corruption. Like, no. Protestant movement happens. Now there's three movements. The entire time the Orthodoxy is there, the Catholicism appears, the Protestants appear, and then the Protestants split off into like a bunch of different ways. But the Orthodox Church is like the same thing all the way till now. You feel me? And so the Orthodox Church has all these ancient saints, and they're called like fathers of the church. Like these I love them. I love these ancient like 4th century mystic Christian. I just love them. Like I freaking love them. There's also like so like there are not that many Orthodox societies, like as far as Orthodox Christian societies, and like I grew up in like the Slavic lands, okay? Like I was born into the Slavic lands, and the Slavic lands are under the Orthodox Christian umbrella. Yeah, feels me. And so I'm just saying, like, I also have knowledge of the Slavic languages, okay? And so I have access to the Slavic saints, and y'all never heard of them. Ho, ho, ho. I'm sorry. Ho, 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 as in Saint Nicholas, as in Santa Claus, because Santa Claus is literally Nicholas. Like, he's an actual saint. I think he's like the most beloved saint in the Slavic lands. He is like, you should look him up, like Saint Nicholas, and what he did. Like, he gave gifts of money to this father who was about to sell his daughters into brothaldom because he was so broke he couldn't afford to like live. And Saint Nicholas in the middle of the night showed up and gave him gold bags of gold money so that his daughters wouldn't be sold off into brothels. Okay? And that's where the idea of like a man coming in the middle of the night and giving you gifts comes from. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that until I came back to the Eastern Hemisphere and started going to Orthodox Church. And then like I was like, what are all these saints? Because I was in the Western Hemisphere because a relative of mine was studying in a Protestant seminary to become a Protestant pastor. And so I grew up in like, you know, Orthodox Church, Catholic Church, Protestant, you know, offshoot. I was like during my teenage years growing up in like the Protestant offshoot of Christianity, and I didn't know anything about like the history and the information in the Orthodox Church, and it's really different. And so I went to Orthodox Church yesterday because it was near the place where I've been taking some shifts, and it's literally right there. And I walk in and I'm like, I don't know what to do because like I'm in here and I'm crying. I'm in here and I'm just like,